Hello there, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to this meditation that is specifically to deal with the anxieties that are coming up at this point in time and fears, particularly around the coronavirus. But if you are stumbling on this at any other point in time, remember that it is the perfect time for you to come across this particular meditation. So it's not just about an external threat. It's not just about an internal threat. It's about anything that is disturbing your peace. It's making you feel in a state that is not balanced. And we are going to do something really powerful with this new moon in Aries, which is tomorrow, but we are preparing now. So welcome those of you who are joining me. If you are new to my work, I am Rosanna, and I am basically channeling the frequency of divine grace, which is called RozyGlow in my book. And what I do is I align people to live in accordance with their higher selves, to activate their divine human self, and to live on this earth in such a way that they're living from their heart. So if this is something that you resonate with, then please do hit the subscribe and the notifications bell, and you will get loads and loads of content from me to support you to live in alignment with the divine, the highest good of all, and the win-win-win in everything. So whoever's here, let me know you're here. Hey, Jen, welcome to see you. Good to see you even. It is a beautiful day in the UK. And just to give you a sense of the format that we're going to follow, because these co-creation meditations are super powerful, they will affect you in such a way that you are ready to be affected at this point. So some of you are already coaching clients of mine and you'll go very, very deeply. Others will be new to these co-creation methods. And there really is a difference between co-creating and manifesting. So in my world, I'm teaching people to align with the highest good of all, to co-create from their higher selves, not just from their ego programming. And there is a difference that you'll learn through my other videos. But for now, what's really important for us to do as a collective, because this is a world healing as well as a personal healing, is to move through the wounded infant, to move through the unmet needs of the infant, and to move into a space where we are activating our divine infant blueprint. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So, hey, Irina, welcome. Now, what does this actually mean? Well, basically, I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. So to explain the format, I always do a bit of talking at the start. We're going to do a little cacao blessing in a moment. And if you have ceremonial grade cacao, it's always good to drink that cacao with me before the co-creation meditation. Obviously, if you haven't purchased it before, you can find out the details in the text box, and you can find my website, RozyGlow.com. I sell it, and I can also send you links for international sales. We work with crystals as well, so we're going to do a crystal and a magical tool cleanse. So I have my magic wand here. And then we will go into the co-creation meditation. So intro, cacao blessing, chat, cleanse the crystals, look at what else we can use to support us in this time. And I've got a really lovely oil called Brave here from doTERRA, which I'm loving at the moment. And then looking at what we can actually do to clear our own personal fears, and also to then clear for the collective. So that's the deal. How is everyone? Let me know. Good. And you can hear me well. Just let me know that you can hear me well. I've decided to upgrade all of my technology, so that will be next week that you will have more from me. So we have a huge fear trigger going on at the moment, and this fear trigger is called coronavirus or COVID-19. It is affecting us all. It is rattling our cages. This sense of feeling safe is not there. It's bringing to us a sense that there's this unknown threat. We can't see it, but it's everywhere, right? So this is kind of like your worst nightmare. A lot of people are feeling the vibes of Armageddon and the impending apocalypse. But I want to keep saying to people that apocalypse in Greek, I'll give you a Greek word. It means apokalypto, which means I am revealing, okay? It is the big reveal. And what we're doing is we're revealing, we're bringing to the surface many generations of unprocessed trauma, particularly around when we move out of being in the womb space. So imagine the cosmic womb for all starseeds. So as a soul, you have a consciousness, you exist, but you want to know yourself as an individual. You want to know yourself as separate from the collective. So you decide to incarnate into a physical being. And you come to this earth, you are conceived, and then you are gestated for a period of time in a human womb. So you move from the cosmic womb to the human womb. And from this human womb, you then have to come out into the world. And I've seen, as a birth and a fertility specialist and someone who works with birth trauma and the first 7 years of life and the imprints of these on how we live our lives. So as a multidimensional success coach, I work with people to clear their programming from their early time. basically that separation moment from when we exit the womb into our human lives is where many of us experience really big separation trauma, okay? And why is that linked to fear and corona at this point? Well, systemically, we don't feel safe. As a humanity, we haven't felt safe for many, many generations. So although this seems like a curse upon the earth, there is actually a hidden blessing. It is bringing all anxieties, all fears, all struggle paradigm narratives to the surface for us to love up. So our meditation today is really going to be about evolving our human infant self to our divine infant self. And I'm also going to put a lot of energy into our time in the womb, because so many of the feelings that we band around as our own feelings, our own emotional states, whether your normal is to generally feel quite anxious or depressed or to worry or to look for a pessimistic attitude, or generally you're not on the up, you're not looking for the good. This is all very much down to how our mothers perceive the world that they're living in when they are growing us in the womb. And I don't want to be blaming mothers. We've just had Mother's Day in the UK. I'm a mum too, and trust me, if I could go back to the maternal emotions and change them, I would. And we can energetically. This is what we're going to do today. But ultimately, most of us have a whole set of emotions and feeling states that we think are who we are, but they're actually who we've been programmed to be. So this is what's so exciting about this particular co-creation meditation. Now, before I go any further into the explanation, I am just going to do the cacao blessing. So if you haven't got cacao, then please don't worry. Just bring your hands to your heart and you will also get the benefits of the cacao. We have my lovely unicorn on here. I don't think you can see it, but the unicorn magic is there. And there's rainbows in the bubbles of the cacao. So just bringing the cacao up to your heart and taking a moment to close your eyes, to soften your heart space, to allow yourself to know that whenever you actually watch this meditation, you are joining with many others who have the same intention, which is to create the vibration of safety within. Whatever the trigger is for feeling anxious, unsafe, or fearful, by the end of this meditation, each of us will have the download, the frequency to connect with, to align with the divine, to align with the Thrive paradigm, the ascending earth paradigm, otherwise known as Gaia. So take a moment just to dwell in your heart space. You can bring your hand to your heart and feel the rise and fall of your chest. As the breath enters in, the source of all that is. Fill your whole chest up. Recognize this is the divine within you. And then as you breathe out, send that breath down through your body, down into the earth, down into your earth chakra, whether you know what that is or not. And just spread your light around the planet. Take a moment to relax your buttocks, relax your thighs, relax your legs and your feet. And take a moment to choose to believe, even though circumstances appear otherwise, I am safe. Allow it's possible to feel safe. With the new moon in Aries, we have the newborn energy, the Aries being the newborn of the zodiac. So invite Mama Cacao into our hearts to inspire the joy, what happens when a new being comes to the earth. To inspire the celebration of how we all want to feel when we're born. To feel welcomed into a safe, a welcoming and nurturing world where all of our needs are met abundantly. Where we learn how to live in our human form with compassion, with respect. Where we learn to work in harmony with nature rather than against it. Mama Cacao, as you come in and you touch us, we know that you bring balance and harmony wherever it's most needed. So please bless us with the insights we need to individually and collectively move beyond fear, move through fear, into a state of sovereign trust, into a state where we feel sovereign where we feel invisible to anything that has power over us and is malevolent, where we feel invincible, invulnerable, and impenetrable to anything that may cause us harm, or we perceive may cause us harm. Thank you for connecting our hearts to each other, for reminding us the power we have in each of us to turn a story around, to turn a narrative around, by clearing up our own emotions around it. Bless everyone who takes part in this meditation. Bless their hearts and their paths. And we give thanks in advance for the birth of all of these starseed divine humans, getting the welcome they so deserve as we each get reborn together. Just imagine a golden smile beaming from your heart and let that spread to your lips. It's a beautiful day today. Feel the love and the light of the sun and the moon merging, and the starlight to wrap themselves around each and every one of us, a cocoon of light. Breathe it in. And then send it down and around to the earth, so through your body and around the earth. And into the heart of Mother Earth, which is also the womb of Mother Earth. She has her own love light, so as we connect, it's like the sperm and the egg meeting. And an explosion of delight in the center of our planet as we bring our own light down is felt. So in order to energize this conception of consciousness and compassion, we'll send the sound Ma down into the earth, Om up into our universe, and Un, which is the frequency of unity consciousness, from our hearts to each other. Taking a deep breath in. So inviting the blessings that are always around to be felt as love around you. Gently bow your head to your lovely heart. Slowly open your eyes, bring yourself back. Welcome. Carry on drinking. So we've got Jid's here, welcome. Katie's here, Hadia, everyone. Good. You need, so Irina's saying, I really need to change my emotions right now, especially because of maternity stuff that we carry. Yeah, well, we're going to do that today. So look, what I do, anyone who's new and stumbling across this now, get your notebook out. Whatever I'm talking about, I start with talking because I want to trigger things in you that we can then clear up, okay? So what I've got on today, I've got stars on, because tomorrow is the new moon, so it's the perfect time to start the Star Salutation Prosperity Practice, which is a freebie on my RozyGlow website. And I've just added a new sequence, which is tapping for vibrant health. So anyone who's worried about their health, there's a new tapping sequence on there with the words for vibrant health. So you can use it for prosperity, for love, for health, for everything. But if we're all clearing up our own stuff around feeling unsafe, just imagine what we'll do for the collective. Just imagine how many people can watch this meditation and anchor these frequencies into the earth. So that's really, really important if you're new to it. Welcome, Rennie. Good to see everybody here. So carry on drinking your cacao, write your notes, see what crystals you got about. At the moment, I'm playing with citrine. I'm playing with peacock ore, which for me, this is like anchoring the fifth dimensional frequencies to this planet. You'll see that there's a lot of peacocks around me because I work with peacock medicine, which is to transmute poison into divine nectar. And that's what I'm asking you to do, to transmute your toxicity into a higher frequency. And that's what co-creation meditations are. And this is celestite, which again, the lighting's quite off in terms of you being able to see this. I'm not sure you'll be able to, but celestite is like a light blue stone. And to me, this holds the codes of our divine blueprint. So if you ain't got any of these, again, get in touch. I can get them to you if you want to find out more. And this brave oil, I'm going to put a little bit on because this is for kids. But I absolutely love this. And it's brilliant for the solar plexus. So many of us are feeling debased, ungrounded, because we don't know what's going on and we don't know how long it's going to go on for. And the thing is, we can speed it up. The way that we can speed it up is to transmute our emotions around it. So I've said that I think this is a mass global fear and struggle paradigm detox because we are ascending into a new frequency. We are leaving behind the density of karma. We are leaving behind the density of seeing the world through a fear-based paradigm, fear-based eyes. Now, we can understand this, but we have so much programming in us. It is said that our cellular memory can go back as far as 14 generations. So the way we're living our lives now, our perceptions today are based on traumas that could have occurred 14 generations ago that our ancestors did not have the capacity to deal with. So they just got on with life, never really dealt with the stuff that was there, probably ate their way through it and smoked their way through it and distracted themselves through it, as we all have done one way or another. And we're not allowed to do it anymore. We actually have to sit with ourselves at this point and feel everything that's coming up. It is in force. So the less we distract ourselves, the more we are willing to actually come inside and feel what is there, the easier it's actually going to be to us to move through this quickly and with grace and with ease and to come through to the other side. So first thing to ask yourself, well, what are you scared of? I would invite you, anything you put in the chat box, I can work with and clear through this co-creation meditation. But even if I don't mention it, so long as you're aware of the things that you're scared of, then you're in a position to be able to put that into the co-creation meditation when we actually do it. And again, just to say a little bit more about these early influences. So my background is as a fertility and a pregnancy specialist and a birth specialist. I'm a doula. My first entry world into all of this stuff was rebirthing. So I discovered just how powerful it is. Our own birth story gets recreated again and again in our lives, especially if it was a struggle. We're born expecting life to be a struggle, and that's what we see again and again. When it comes to how we perceive the world and how our personalities are actually made of the emotional constitutions of our mother and our father, but essentially how our mother perceives the world, we develop a personality to cope with how she sees the world, okay? And also how we can then survive the world that we're actually going to be born into. So again, I could spend forever talking about this, but I'm not going to. I think what is significant is to consider the emotions that pervade you. Like for me, for example, my daughter feels guilt a lot of the time. Okay, now as a mother, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I felt guilty a lot of the time. I felt like I was not a great mum, and I'd only just started my journey. I was very young. I didn't feel very resourced, and so as a result of that, I felt guilty and anxious a lot of the time. And these are emotions that have been passed on to the next generation. So I can work with them. Whilst my child is under the age of 7, I can work with them myself and clear them as much as possible, which is why I work with adults to do their own clearing so they can clear their children. But once their children are actually beyond a certain age, so 7 and above, they're going to be looking to find ways to clear their own cellular memory. So the more of us do it for ourselves, the more we lighten the load on the collective. It's like self-isolation. It's just taking the pressure away a bit, okay, so that we're in a position where we can go, all right, I'll lighten the load. So if each of us take responsibility for detoxing our own pervading emotional states that are not ones that we enjoy and not ones that we want to live out as our normal, as our truth, then we're going to lighten the load on the collective and we're going to help the children as well. And I will add in a clearing for the children, because whether your children are older or not, if there are emotions that you would like to take back from them and own yourself, we will do that as an energy refund and a decoding exercise as part of this co-creation meditation. So, like I said, please remember to put in the text box anything that you are particularly wanting to shift as a fear. Irina, you mentioned the maternal stuff that we carry. Is there anything specific that you want to address that we can deal with? And not only that, you know, if you think about it, the way that I see people stuck in a rut is we are all the slaves to our beliefs. And I think something that's very inspiring to remember is before a belief comes an emotion, comes a feeling. So when you feel things that are uncomfortable to feel, if you don't want to keep feeling them, try not to resist them. Okay, the point is you use the sphere of compassion, as I'm going to show you today, to love up the very things that are uncomfortable. So in the same way that in labor, you can try and push a contraction away, or you can take the drugs that they can give you so you don't feel the contractions. Your body's still going through it. It's still going to need a recovery period, and your baby is still going through it. And if you're not present, they can't feel your support, right? So this is why we want to be as conscious and as present as possible through the process. Even if we have analgesia, it's the connection to the soul child that is coming to us. And for us, it is the connection to our soul as we are born, that we stay connected to our soul. Because the initial separation feeling of being born into this world, one, you come from source, which is a body of light. You enter into a human physical form that will have all of its own emotions. That is the mother womb that you're growing in. And then you go from there, which isn't as light and as love and as amazing as being with source, but it's more complex and you're dealing with it. You go from there out into the world. And usually in the generations prior to now, we're still not fully there yet. The birthing process is traumatic. There is separation immediately after birth. They used to pick babies up and give them a bash. Now they're taken away still and they're kind of cleaned up and they're poked and prodded. They used to be taken to nurseries for periods of time. You know, we've all got some kind of experience of this in our history. So we've gone from the cosmic womb to the human womb to then out into the world here, which is scary. And that's why I'm talking about this. Why is it to do with the anxiety of COVID-19? Because this is the trigger at the moment for us to clear all of this birth stuff. Let me just see what we're all saying. So I'm scared of having my power taken away. Great. Okay. So I've just done a fear meditation, which is also on this website, which is on YouTube, which is really, really good for dealing with power being taken away. I can't see my niece and nephews, and I'm pissed off that is what's going on around me. I just don't align with it, but I'm having to respect others' wishes and views. Danny's on the bus from Lisbon. Well done. She got home. That's amazing. Boost our body's ability to deal with both the current fear as well as the virus. Yeah, well, absolutely, we're going to do that. Fear of existence, the depression of not finding fulfilling work, fear of falling into depression, fear of not being able to hold on to my living situation. So what we're talking about is fear of putting our soul in control. We're frightened of not being able to operate from our current programming anymore, and what's going to happen if we really do surrender. So we are going to surrender into the divine today. Fear of not being able to create safety and security for a child, and fear of ending up alone, fear of never being able to feel the love that I know is possible to feel within self and outside of self, which I also know some fear was carried by my mum. Great, we've got a lot to work with there, haven't we? So what does fear stand for? I like the word fictitious evidence appearing real, but it looks really real. Okay, it looks really, really, really real, especially when it's something you can't see but is apparently incredibly threatening. And many of us are in the same boat. We're not quite buying this story. Yes, people are dying. Yes, there is a virus, but there seems to not be a lot of adding up. Things are not adding up. That perhaps it's just the chaos and the fear that people are in that is meaning that people are not acting rationally and not making decisions from a centered place. But let's remember that not the whole world meditates. Not the whole world is aware of themselves as a multidimensional being of love and light. Not the whole world is aware of the fact that they have a soul component that they can access to guide them. Our political leaders aren't coming from there. They're going to be coming from their programming, just as our public health forums are going to be doing as well. They're going to be coming from the programming that we are each talking about releasing here. So we're doing a huge job for humanity, a huge job for this planet. And absolutely everybody who watches this particular meditation would like you to remember you're doing something not just for you, but everyone you love. Just like those of us who are choosing to we're socially distance ourselves and self-isolate, are doing that for the greater good, even if we don't fully agree with it. So it's quite interesting where integrity is. Okay. Serena's saying, also fuck everything and run, lol, though I like your version much better. Fear of rejection and abandonment coming up in new relationships. There's nowhere to run though. I'm happy that some of the old fears I felt, fears of lack of safety and security and fear of falling, have really cleared for me already. Good. I think it's very important that we let go of the fear of financial support, of feeling the loss of job, of income, where money is going to come from. Every one of us is taking the journey from, I'm a birdie, feed me worms, someone else is responsible for me, please tell me what to do, to no longer being in that position anymore and actually having to access the heart truth to lead and to guide us. So all of us are having to adapt our work. All of my work is online now, including my yoga classes or the coaching work, etc. But we're having to find ways to adapt through these changing times. But that's what every species has done on this planet that is here today. You adapt or you die. It's not survival of the fittest. It is survival comes to those who cooperate. It is those who recognize the need to adapt to changing circumstances, which is what we're doing. And there will be people running around like headless chickens. They'll usually be in their house running around like headless chickens. There'll be others like ostriches that want to dig their head in the sand. But what we can do for the collective is so powerful that I'd like you to not worry, please, about the people that don't seem to be getting the relevance of this time. Do your work and don't worry about what others are doing, okay? They will get there by default. What else? I've left it too late to have a family and to be able to provide abundantly for them. Okay, so that's a fear. Okay, yes, survival and adaptation. Okay, well, let's bring all of this in. Remember, what I'm going to be doing with you is to heal your own safety issues. Okay, this is what we're working with today, and this will then have a knock-on effect on everything else. So this explains this necklace that I'm wearing. Okay. Now, this is what I call a sphere of compassion. It is actually the flower of life as a formation around the planet. And if you haven't seen a flower of life formation before, then please look it up and see. You'll see these flowers have center points. Those center points are where your earth chakra is located. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to birth everybody into a sphere of compassion. And then what we can do is we can do all of the decoding and the energy refund work that we want to do for all of what's gone on in our own lives, and then to draw in the very things that we say we want. So I think we should get going. Here are my notes. Let's do a little blessing for our magical tools. So I love my Harry Potter one. Anyone who's got a crystal grid off me, please bear in mind that I have sent instructions to everybody in terms of how to activate it tomorrow, and I will send some verbal instructions as well. But for now, we're going to rub our hands together, have a little shake, and then you can just hover your hands over your magical tools. Okay, so for me, it's my crystals and my wand. Take a moment to close your eyes. You can think of your crystal grid as well. Bring the attention to the heart and please repeat after me. I am all that is. I am the one self I am. I am that I am. I cleanse these crystals and magical tools to renew their power so they can bring peace and harmony and benefit all humankind. I command that all lower frequency energies be taken from these crystals and magical tools to where they can be transmuted into the purest vibrations of love and light for the highest good of all, so that only the most benevolent and pure vibrations of love and light exist within these crystals and magical tools. And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so you can hold on to any crystal that you want to work with specifically to anchor these frequencies. I tend to put them over my body as I prepare for the meditation. Now I'm going to learn from previous replays and actually go really slow with my voice. You may find it helpful to record this with your phone as well, which I am going to do. Then you've just got the meditation as you wish to listen to it again and again and again. Okay. So first of all, rubbing the hands again and having a little shake. This is to release any fear that may be lurking in our being. Sometimes when we're triggered, just got to shake your whole body out, make some sounds, blow raspberries. Beautiful. And then bring your attention to your breath. Allow your eyes to close. And know that you are in this moment in a safe space. So take a moment to recognize your breath as the source of all that is, being breathed into you. Knowing that this is our time to let go of the fear, the fictitious evidence appearing real, of external threats having any power over any of us. And also any perceived internal threats, perhaps illness, perhaps already having some kind of virus or bacteria. Letting go of the fear that this internal threat has any power over you. Now I invite you just to take a moment to remember there is a huge body of light that is always in existence. It is a body of love light known as Source or God. And this is our essence. This is where we all come from and where we all return to. You can imagine it as a huge ocean of love. Each one of us a droplet of that ocean. And before we go any further, let's just allow our minds to become the witness, the scribe of this experience. Not worrying about whether the mind is busy, preoccupied. Just gently turning the attention to my words and what I'm asking you to visualize and partake in. And don't worry if visualizing is challenging for you. Know that whatever I ask you to create, you are creating, whether you can see it or not. Now, this co-creation meditation is specifically for evolving our willingness to surrender our programmed will, our ego will, and to surrender it to the highest good, the divine will, the soul will within each of us. So take a moment to imagine a huge sphere of compassion surrounding you. A sphere of compassion is a holographic sphere. It is multidimensional and it encompasses all parallel timelines, all parallel universes, alternate timelines. Every choice point you've ever gone one way, the other way already exists. But what we focus on is what we create. So as you look around your sphere, you'll see the walls of the sphere are made of trillions of little spheres, all spinning on their own axis. There are spheres within spheres within spheres, all representing different opportunities, realities, thought forms, experiences. This is your reality bubble. Now I'd like you to expand the sphere so it's as big as you want it to be around you. Perhaps as big as your room or even the whole home that you're in. Perhaps a whole apartment building even. Make sure that you feel this is your space. And allow this now to be a representation of the cosmic womb, where all souls come from and all souls return. Before we go any further, we shall activate our I Am presence, our superconscious. So please repeat these words after me. I am all that is. I am the one self I am. I am that I am. I am the source of my creations. I am the creator of my reality. I am a multi-dimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am creator. I am free. I am aligning with Earth's angelic, abundance, ascension, timeline. I am surrendering my programmed will, my ego will, to my divine will. I am commanding an axiotonal alignment with my divine design timeline. I am co-creating with grace and with ease my personal paradise in alignment with the highest good of all and the win-win-win in everything. I am safe. I am secure. I am divinely guided and protected in all ways. I am invincible. I am invulnerable. I am impenetrable to anything of malevolent intent. I am willing to release the past. I am willing to forgive. I am allowing myself to be safe. I am that. I am. Just allow those words to take hold. Allow yourself to know that anything you say after the words I am must be obeyed. And take a moment just to feel the joy of floating in the womb of the cosmos. Notice if you can perceive colours and sounds that are truly delightful, uplifting, desirable, comforting, and nurturing. And as you float around this cosmic womb, you feel truly held, supported, a sense of oneness with all that is. And as you look around the womb, you see lots of other little sparks of love light. The other fellow droplets of consciousness, seeking to individualize themselves so they may know themselves like you wish to. But in essence, all is one. And it feels good. Notice the colors that prevail for you. Just imagine yourself being wrapped in a blanket of love, cocooned in this love. This is the start of your starseed pod, your cocoon, that allows you to travel from this cosmic womb to the womb of your human mother in this lifetime. So recognizing that each and every one of us, as a soul, grows from unity into separation so that it may know itself because it wants to, then back into unity again. And the way we do this is by choosing the life circumstances that will teach us what we need to know to reunify with the divine. And your soul knows this even if your human self doesn't. So, recognizing the impulse to incarnate, to be born into a physical form, and knowing that in our infinite wisdom we choose the humans that will teach us the lessons we need to learn because of the lessons they need to learn. And feeling the pull of the sparks of consciousness, whether they are self-aware or not, that co-created you. Feeling them drawing you towards them and going willingly in your pod of love light. The blanket wrapped around you, who's always holding and protecting you. Now allow this blanket to be emerald green. Allow it to have a soft pink layer of divine grace within it. And as you zoom through as a consciousness to this egg and this sperm, and this explosion of life, starseed consciousness is embedded into the infant that will be grown. Now you may experience this as traveling through a tunnel or a wormhole. You land into a womb space. And we are bringing ahead of us the light and the love of Source to cleanse this womb space now. So that whatever our circumstances before now, we've entered into a space of divine consciousness, a space of love and light. Take a moment to become aware of the space around you, but also have a sense of a thread of consciousness that always keeps you connected to Source. Now we grow from single cells to embryos, fetuses, and then babies. So as we take this time to float around in timelessness, I invite you now to create a sphere of compassion about the size of a football in front of your face. And to allow yourself, as you're growing in this womb, through the time period that you were incubated by your mother, to release into the sphere that you have created in front of your face any and all toxic emotions, lower frequency emotions that you have perhaps taken on as your own. So releasing into the sphere known and unknown fears, anxieties, stresses, concerns, suppressed emotions, guilt, blame, and shame, concern about the future, feelings of confusion, any feelings that pertain to lack of support, lack of resources. Just want you to imagine that as you're growing in this womb space, connected to Source, you're constantly feeding yourself the light and the love that you need without being dependent on your human mother's love and approval. And as your mother feels things, without any judgment, you get to filter what you want to keep and what you want to let go of. Take the best and leave the rest. So breathe into the sphere in front of you and allow it to expand. All of the feelings, thoughts, beliefs that have been ones you have been willing and desiring to release in this adult life of yours. Anything you felt is an impingement to your well-being. One of the things that women, when they're pregnant, are encouraged to focus on is their well-being and health. Very often, well-meaning health professionals focus on the negative. So releasing also any fears of blood pressure issues, health conditions in pregnancy, any concerns about the impending birth. Releasing built up anger and resentment, frustration. And releasing now from our cellular, molecular, atomic and subatomic memory, from the waves and particles of our quantum field and photon stream, from the physical, etheric, emotional, mental and astral bodies in all dimensions and all space and time, all of the heavy density. It doesn't feel real, doesn't feel like our truth. Release it into the sphere. Anything that blocks your flow, your time in the womb, for remembering the divine being that you are, incarnating in physical form, release it into the sphere. And very often, depression and anxiety go hand in hand. Overthinking, obsessing, being compulsive, being negative-minded, looking for doom and gloom, being entrained to it. Just feel all of these layers being pulled from you into the sphere. The busy mind, the inability to sit down, to be, to rest and repair and feed and breathe. And also letting go of the lethargy and the despondency. It makes it difficult for us to get off the sofa when we need to self-motivate. Allow the layers of judgment to be released, particularly about the world around and the people within it. Letting go of any narratives and filters that our mothers saw through, our grandmothers saw through, our great-grandmothers saw through, that said the world isn't safe. I'm not safe. My baby's not safe. How will I provide? How will we survive? How will we thrive? Letting go of all the shock, the traumatic news we may have received in pregnancy. Letting go of all of the external and internal factors that contributed to the belief, I am not safe and I must struggle to survive. Release that pattern from the fabric of your being, from every neuropathway and from every cell, molecule and atom of your being. See the sphere in front of you expand as much as it needs to, spinning, to act like a vacuum to take from you what is not serving your divine path. Letting go in particular of unprocessed grief, fear of the unknown, and fear of the known. Letting go of the impact of war, of displacement, of civil rights being impinged, limited. Letting go of any ancestral memories that haven't been processed and cleared. For the benefit of all of humanity and all sentient beings in this universe. Now see the sphere spin faster and faster, taking from you what no longer serves you. Taking the threat of viruses, bacteria, of pain, suffering from you into that sphere. And now bringing in the frequency of infinite love, which is the pure, clear flame of love light, like a quartz crystal, that allows all of this density to be returned to 0 point raw creative energy. So allowing yourself to release everything that you inherited that made you forget you are a starseed, a divine human, here to walk this earth and teach the path of the Ascended Master. See it all being neutralized into pure, infinite love light. So all you have in that sphere in front of you is pure, liquid love light. It becomes like a crystal ball. You can really purify your placenta, purify every aspect of your being, of anything you've picked up from anyone or anything that isn't aligned with pure love. And when you're ready, please repeat after me. I am divine grace, I am divine grace, I am divine grace. And bring down with you the soft pink flame of infinite love, divine love, that is divine grace. Bring it down through your body, around the planet, into the center of Mother Earth, and then back up from your heart into the sphere. And fill that clear sphere with soft pink love light. And we're going to also bring down the frequency of celestite, the frequency of our divine blueprint, which is a soft blue flame. You may also connect to as the flame of divine power, divine intent. So you can say, I am divine power, I am divine power, I am divine power. I am divine intent, I am divine intent, I am divine intent. And bring that flame down from source through our sun and through our moon. Let the moon and the sun unite. You can imagine the crescent of the new moon in Aries pouring its love light through our sun. And then that sun brings down through the crown of our heads, through our soul gateway even, and then our crown of our heads. The soft blue, divine intent, divine wisdom, that is the celestite frequency. Feel these codes being activated within you. Notice where in your body you start to tingle. Take them through your being, into your earth chakra, around the planet, and then into the center of Mother Earth, her womb, her heart, and back up through your body and from your heart into the sphere in front of you. So clear light has become soft pink light, has also now merged with soft blue light. And we're going to bring down the citrine frequency, which you may also experience as divine wisdom. So calling in now divine wisdom as the citrine frequency of pure divine joy. I am divine wisdom, I am divine wisdom. I am divine wisdom. Allow this soft yellow flame to move through you, around the planet, into her heart, and back up through you again, and from your heart into the sphere. Now, recognize the yellow as a magnet for all that will keep you safe, that will allow you to thrive in uncertain times, in unfamiliar times where you have no program, because the soft blue, the divine wisdom, is guiding you. The divine power is guiding you, the divine intent is guiding you. And the divine wisdom allows each of us to siphon that which is useful and to release that which isn't. So see the yellow as abundance, as prosperity, as divine flow. And all of this is in the sphere, right in front of you. Now we have one more frequency to bring in, which is the peacock or the divine rainbow, the crystalline rainbow frequencies. We're going to do that once we step into this sphere. So just before we do that, please repeat after me as you look at that sphere, because this is the cocoon you are now going to birth yourself into as you come into planet Earth and out of the human maternal body. So before we step into it, just repeat after me. Anchor, lock and seal. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle. Integration and full expression. My physical reality. And all relevant dimensions of my being. In all space and time. And so it is, and so it shall be. Okay, now seeing that sphere in front of you, seeing that this holds the divine codes to keep you aware of your divine human self at all times whilst you transverse this earth. You're able to separate fact from fiction, to know deep in your bones what is true and what isn't, and to act from a space of divine truth and certainty in all ways. Now, the golden bridge from your heart into that sphere is representative of Christ consciousness, of the higher path, of entraining the brain to the heart rather than the heart to the brain. So create a golden bridge now from your heart into that sphere in front of you. And as you do, imagine that it expands to fill the womb that you have been in all of this time. As it fills that womb, you are now surrounded by these celestial frequencies. The divine love, divine wisdom, divine intent and power. Just let yourself integrate these frequencies. And I am commanding an axiotonal alignment with these frequencies for all beings that are connecting with this meditation and doing this deep inner clearing. Notice again where you feel this. We're going through gateways, so we're going to anchor this bit before we're born into the outside world. So please repeat after me. I command this process continues until completion. Anchor, lock and seal. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle. Integration and full expression. in my physical reality, and in all relevant dimensions of my being, in all space and time. And so it is, and so it shall be. Now, as we prepare to be born into the outside world, we're creating more spheres within spheres. So you may notice there is a pathway of light calling you out of this human maternal body. But before we take that pathway, which will increase in light and love, we are creating first a rainbow sphere in the room that we are being born into, so that we are held in the frequencies of our divine human selves, our 12-stranded DNA, as we are born from our human mother into our own energy field once more, our divine energy field once more. So you see this pathway of light calling you, beckoning you. Just as it called you into this womb, it's calling you out. And this becomes a passageway that expands, a tunnel of light, huge, where we're being beckoned lovingly into a huge rainbow sphere. The rainbow sphere is made of all the frequencies of crystalline love light that transmute density into divine nectar, transmute poison into divine consciousness. Just imagine for you that sphere is waiting for you. And as the path of light expands, you are within your sphere of soft pink, of soft yellow and soft blue. Remember, you are already cocooned in your emerald green and your soft pink blanket. You are within the sphere of yellow, blue and pink. And now you're moving through that pathway of light, that tunnel of light, into this huge rainbow sphere. Beautiful rainbow sphere. And it's big and there's lots of space, but you feel really, really safe. And as you're born into this sphere, you remember, this is my sphere of compassion. This is my reality bubble. I am choosing to see through eyes of love. And as you're born into this sphere, take a moment to know that as soon as you come into it, your whole being detoxifies further any shackles of fear, any concerns that held you bondage to the fears and anxieties and stresses of others. Take a moment just to float in your new home, your rainbow sphere, and allow each out-breath to release from you anything at all, any trace of the lower frequencies that have held you down in this life so far, that would have come from the humans that you grew within and their ancestral cellularness. So you may notice it's like steam coming off of you, being transmuted into compassion. Let it all come from you. So if you were looking at your hands and your feet as a newborn baby, you'd see yourself glowing your soul love light. You'd see yourself always safe. This is the master cell now that informs every other cell of your being. I am a multidimensional being of love and light. I am choosing to see through eyes of love and to love what I see. I am safe. I am the creator of my reality. I am sovereign. I am allowing all of my needs to be met in abundance. So with this knowing, you can pull back into you any and all energies you've ever imprinted on others, whether they are your children, your siblings, your partners, your friends, that have come from a distorted sense of truth, that have come from fictitious evidence appearing real. So pull all of those cords of lower frequency energies, pull them back into your sphere and see them dissolve. They have no impact on anyone anymore. And send out from you, back to where they came from, any and all projections of fear and stress and anxiety, and what ifs and struggle. Anything that filters your view of seeing through eyes of love, looking for the good. And so as you send it back, it is pure compassion. And as you receive back what you have sent out, it is returned to pure compassion. So just look in the center of your sphere all around you and notice if there are any cords of fear attaching you to anyone or anything. And I'm asking you now to decord collectively from the fear of viruses, the fear of external threats, to decord from any and all known and unknown fears that you may have, so that there is only love around you. There is only the frequency of rainbow and pink and blue and yellow around you. The emerald green, allowing the outline of your physical body to glow. And just to give ourselves full sense of being in our power, being able to walk this earth with a strong energy field that is impervious to anything, that is fear-based, lower frequency-based. Water off a duck's back, it doesn't get near us. And we are always shown the way to proceed. We are always guided by our heart's truth, our third eye's wisdom, and the deep fire of desire in our womb space, our sacral chakras, regardless of our gender. There is that deep longing that is the soul longing, seeking to express itself on this earth. Anchor that into your earth chakra. Anchor that up into your soul chakra. See your central column as a beam of rainbow love light, connecting you right down to the center of Mother Earth, right up to the source of all that is, and informing everything around you of your alignment with your divine design timeline and your alignment with the angelic ascension abundance timeline. I am commanding an axiotonal alignment with my divine design timeline. I am commanding an axiotonal alignment with feeling safe and secure at all times, in all ways, in all dimensions, in all space, and all time. I am commanding an axiotonal alignment with the angelic ascension abundance timeline. I am that I am, I am that I am, I am that I am. Now, seeing through eyes of love, hearing through ears of love, speaking through a mouth of love, feeling through a heart of love, thinking through a mind of love. Look around. See the world through these new eyes. Allow any sense of regret to be released and transmuted. Anything that feels as though it's out of center, release it from your being now. Beautiful work. So imagining as each of us has one of these spheres around us, imagine a rainbow sphere around our planet. Allow this planet to do its detox, knowing what we have just done for ourselves. And please repeat after me. I am my divine human self. I am my divine human self. I am my divine human self. See yourself always drawing to you that which is aligned with your divine truth. And drop an anchor from your heart into the center of our planet. And now please repeat after me. I am commanding the swift release of all fear in all hearts, all minds, all bodies on this planet. May it be transmuted into love, light, and divine purpose. See a rainbow blanket wrapping itself around this planet and loving up the threats that are unknown, unquantifiable, and the threats that are known and quantifiable. See the whole planet being soothed. A blanket of rainbow love, restoring our planet to its divine frequencies, the ascending earth paradigm. See the crystalline grid, glowing rainbow love light. See this planet ascend into the paradise planet that it is here to be. May all beings in this universe be happy and at peace and free from suffering. May all beings in this universe be vibrantly healthy. May all of our needs be met in abundance. And so it is, and so it shall be. Let your heart be your divine compass, and notice the stillness of your mind. I am always in the right place at the right time. I am always in the right place at the right time. I am always in the right place at the right time. I am divinely guided. I am divinely inspired. I am my divine human self, in service to the ascension of humanity. Please repeat after me. I command this process continues until completion. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate and align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful and gentle. Integration and full expression. In my physical reality and all relevant dimensions of my being. In all space and time. And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just before you come back, be aware of your rainbow core line. Be aware of the outline of your physical body, glowing emerald green. Be aware of the outer sphere that is your sphere of compassion and reality bubble. Glowing rainbow. And then become aware of your light body, which is within the sphere and outside of your physical body. Perhaps a star shape, perhaps a diamond. And see this as the celestite frequency of the soft blue. Your divine blueprint in your light body, feeding the information to all aspects of your physical being. Now breathe yourself back. Breathe yourself into your body. Breathe yourself into this earth. When you're ready to come back, please gently open your eyes. Come back, come back, come back. If you're listening to this as you go to sleep, you can wake with the guidance of your divine infant self, guiding every action in your day-to-day life. All right, folks, welcome back. Come on back. Let me know how you're doing. That was a biggie for us. Very keen to know how everybody has got on. That was long. So once you're back, let me know you're back and how you're doing. And notice if you can feel that stillness in your being. So really strong core line, really strong anchoring into your earth chakra. And really recognizing the need to keep anchoring to this now, okay? So just want to remind you to check out the website, RozyGlow.com, and to make sure that you sign up to that Star Salutation Prosperity Practice, because we want to start it tomorrow. It's a physical practice for activating your light body and bringing in all of these frequencies so that you are vibrantly healthy. You have all the abundance of money and prosperity that you could possibly need, and the love and the light that you desire. So we've got massive clearing. I am back. It was very magical and powerful. Feel roundedness. Yes, was about to say strong in my core line. I'm back and feel much calmer. Good. Well done, everyone. We've cleared every one of our cells. That was the master blueprint cell that we have cleared. So you feel the difference. It's very strong. As always, these meditations lead me. I connect to my higher self and just pull it through. So how I intend it and how it is can be quite different. But I just want to thank every one of you for being here. Please do share this with your friends. Share it wide. Remember, there's the fear detox, the fear meditation that's also on this YouTube channel. It's an audio meditation you can listen to. Great for clearing all types of fear. We're living in very interesting times. Let us harness these winds of change and let us co-create this planet that we all want to co-create. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the notifications tab if you haven't yet. Join me on Facebook. I'm not really so much on Instagram, but I am on Facebook and I am on my website. And for those of you who are seeking the next step is the Fearless, Empowered and Free to Be Me program. So if you haven't done it yet, book your breakthrough call through my website. I've got some really amazing feedback from the last round of Liberation from Limitation, which we've just finished. And the next round of Fearless is starting next month. So I'm really keen to get as many of you who are ready to live your fearless best selves as your divine humans here on earth. And the call has been made out. So if you're feeling the pull, please get in touch. For everyone else, so much love, cacao, oils, crystals. Let me know if you need anything. Otherwise, go share this love and this magic with the world through social distancing, but through beaming this rainbow love to everyone. Thank you so much. So Kit Kat Yoga, Katie says, Fearless course is a game changer. Highly recommend. Thank you so much. A lot of people who do these meditations are actually part of that course. They know the value of it. Great. Glad you like that clarity. You're so welcome, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Lots and lots of love. Mwah. Danny saying was pretty spacey, in and out, but I feel really positive. I haven't been in the panic much, so great to keep tuned in. Thanks, Rosie. You're really welcome. So much love, folks. Don't give up. Send virtual hugs to everybody. Rainbow virtual hugs. Keep loving up that inner infant that's now the divine infant. See what changes in your life. That is really powerful. Love you all so much. Thank you. Bye. Take care now.